this episode, From Cane to Cup, we will be deep diving and rum nerding on the British love affair with rum and its use in the tot. I did this because in the previous episode that we talked about the history of rum in Europe, I felt like it was important to deep dive in such an important historical use of rum by a particular segment of the population, especially when we have these current companies putting out releases, as well as major collectors paying top dollars for Royal Navy Imperial flagons.
We drink until New Year's morning.
Drink a rum and a punch of creamer, drink a rum.
It's Christmas morning.
Drink a rum and a punch of creamer, drink a rum.
During the 18th and 19th centuries, the British Navy established its dominance on the high seas. Rum played a crucial role in the daily lives of sailors, serving not only as a source for relaxation, but as a practical solution for water supplies preservation on these long voyages, as I've mentioned before. The daily rum ration became a sacred naval tradition, with sailors receiving their tot in a ceremony that forged the sense of camaraderie among the crew members. The rum ration, or tot, was distributed to sailors from 1850 to 1970, and it consisted of an eighth of an imperial pint, so 71 milliliters, of rum at 95.5 proof or 54.6 ABV, given at midday. Not all sailors necessarily drew their rum. Each had the option to be marked in the ship's books as G for grog or T for temperance. Sailors who opted to be a T were given 3 pence a day instead of the rum ration, although most preferred the rum, and we understand why. Sailors under 20 were not permitted a rum ration and were marked on the ship's books as UA, which is underage. The time when the rum ration was distributed was called up spirits, which was between 11 and noon. A common cry for sailors was "Stand fast the Holy Ghost," which is quite interesting. This was the response of the bosun call, "Up spirits." Each mess had a rum bosun who collected the rum in a metal container called a fanny from the supply rating, responsible for measuring out the right number of tots for each mess. Tot glasses were kept separately from any other glasses. They were washed on the outside, but never inside, in the belief that residue from past tots would stick to the side of the glass and make an even stronger tot. Black Tot Day was the end of an era. The zenith of the rum ration's influence came to an abrupt end July 31st, 1970. A day etched in naval history as Black Tot Day. In an effort to modernize and address concerns about alcohol consumption affecting performance, the British Admiralty decided to abolish the centuries-old practice of issuing a daily rum ration to sailors. The announcement was met with both mixed emotions, as many sailors lamented the loss of a tradition that had become synonymous with the life at sea. The rum used in the tot underwent a series of transformations over the centuries. Initially, the quality and the consistency of naval rum were inconsistent, often influenced by the source of the supply and the prevailing economic conditions. The Royal Navy sought to regulate the quality of the spirit, eventually settling on a standardized recipe and production process.